And I'm joined by our experts here this evening as well. Hayley Wheeler and Tammy Foley. First up, Tammy, wow, Tanya, what an absolute superstar. What an incredibly brave young woman.
Absolutely. Just to come on and, to talk about that silent struggle. But to kind of go through that journey, share her story and have a new focus is a brilliant champion. Yeah, very inspirational.
Yeah, certainly. Hayley. How brave for Tanya to come on, but also, it's hearing these struggles. It's difficult, isn't it?
It really is challenging because, as Tammy said and Tanya said, it's a silent struggle. We do not like to talk about emotions, and this is a heavy emotional topic. So we're back in that. People not telling us they don't want to speak about it, but definitely not encouraging us to speak about it. So yeah, brilliant to just come on and raise awareness that there are people out there who are struggling the same as you are, and they're talking about it, and it's possible to talk about it.
Yeah, well done, Tanya Marie Bowen. You're an absolute superstar. Best of luck to all of you involved in the sponsored Pen y Fan climb, and I think we're all potentially doing it, really, after talking ourselves into it. It's a great idea, though. I've always wanted to do it, and especially fancy dress. I mean, certainly not one we'll forget. Hey, girls.
No, sign us up.
What would you go as then, Tammy, if you're going to be an Ivy or an F?
I know we spoke about this off air, so...
We did, and that's why I'm asking you on air.
Do you want me to say it?
It's an open show, Tammy.
I thought the most obvious V would be a vagina.
Mm. Would you make the costume yourself, or would you buy one?
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know about Googling such things. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, please do.
What is the pattern?
Hayley, what about you?
Be an interesting one with the kids, that, isn't it? Right. Mummy's going on a fancy dress hill climb. I'm going as a vagina, and I need some help for you to make it. I'm sure it'd be great fun, actually. It'd be highly entertaining. In fact, we were due to have some guests on this evening, actually, from the Vagina Memoirs, which is actually going to be on at Vision Arts over the weekend. Highly anticipated and talked about. It's in the media a lot. And if you would like to, go and support this and basically find out more about it. I mean, Vision Arts always do some absolute groundbreaking productions, and they never cease to amaze, and I think this potentially is going to be a real hard hitter. But the Vagina Monologues deals with many different aspects. It's actually to mark V-Day, which promotes awareness of violence against women, and Vision Arts Theatre Company joining forces with Action for Children's Women and Girls Together service in a performance of the Vagina Monologues. It's directed by Terry Harrison and is seen in the cornerstone of the V-Day campaign. Critically acclaimed, bittersweet female-led production comprising various personal monologues by a real diverse group of women. So make sure you do check it out, the Vagina Monologues. It's going to be a real hard hitter, that one, I think. But people like Vision Arts having these productions. It just keeps the conversation going, really, doesn't it, Hayley?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think anything that you can go and see something that is so open about a topic that is so closed is always a good thing.
Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, I think it's probably going to be, a fascinating, one of those heart-wrenching watches, just to see what a lot of women have been through. It's going to be a very interesting performance, and certainly one, as you said, break the stigma down and talk about. But definitely do check it out. That's the Vagina Monologues with Vision Arts. Unfortunately, some of the cast can't make it this evening, but they were due to be on. So we are talking Children's Mental Health Week. It launched on the 6th of Feb, runs until the 12th. Place to Be's Children's Mental Health Week is a sort of of the main brand of it. It's officially there for free resource for primary and secondary school children to take part in this week. All of the resources are designed to encourage children and adults as well to consider the different ways that we can make meaningful connections with each other and, beat that taboo. It's all about having a conversation, having a talk. Tammy, what's your thoughts on this week?
I think, it's really important. Children's emotional well-being is just as important as their physical health. Good mental health helps them develop resilience to cope with whatever life throws at them. And they can able to grow into well-rounded, healthy adults. Theme, Let's Connect, is all about just bringing people together. We thrive in communities, and it's this connection that is vital for our well-being. So whether you're an adult or a child, it's really important to make those connections, those healthy connections.
Hayley as well. We're all parents here, but it's important the children, have a discussion, have an open talk about these topics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from my perspective, I always work from the inside out. So the first connection, I encourage parents to work with their children as their connection with themselves so that they can then connect with other people. Because once you understand yourself, you have a better connection with people. But I do see a lot of disconnect and disengagement with social media and things like that. And I think we have to really bring back encouraging children to connect human to human rather than through a screen.
I mean, it makes a huge difference, doesn't it? When you're actually in a room with someone, you're able to make eye contact, you're able to sort of pick up on different emotions and vibes in a room, and it does make a big difference, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Children are now handed phones from a very young age, so they're not getting to learn the connecting with people on that eye contact level, on a even a skin to skin level. I see a lot of parents, and this isn't about judgment, just about understanding really. A lot of parents, whereas years ago when there was nothing to do, you'd be talking and singing with the children. Now the child's got a phone, the parent's got a phone, and there's no communication. So we're really losing connection in lots of different ways, and that's quite a worry for children, because they are pre-programmed to connect with humans.
It's a vital skill, isn't it, communicating? And if you're constantly doing it through a screen, you're sort of losing parts of it, really. I mean, I think as parents, we talk about this a lot. Here's an interesting fact that you may or may not have known, but 2 out of 3 parents really concerned about how our children actually view content on their phone, and specifically online content. Apparently, only 1 in 8 parents feels very confident with the level of safety features that keep children safe online. I actually had an expert joining me on the daytime show on Tuesday, Emma Robertson. She's an online safety expert. She's a co-founder of Digital Awareness UK, and just going through some of the stats on this. I mean, quite startling actually on the I would say the lack of safety that is out there for children online. What's your take on it, Tammy?
I think when it comes to children's online safety, we should be paramount. We should be vigilant. We should be engaged with what they're doing. And again, Hayley spoke about that social connection. That body language, the eye contact. We still should be connecting with our children, with what they're doing online. It's not a separate world. It's not a double life. It's being together as a family as well, and knowing what your children are doing. And it can be quite scary. It can be quite daunting. But as parents, we need to be there to allow children to have that positive experience of the internet, as opposed to a negative one.
Yeah, and there's some of these stats here. I mean, 2/3 of parents worried. How do you turn that worry in? Out of your head and out of your life. And I think this is a lot of there's a lot of talk and about this because it's sort of that like intergenerational thing that I think mum and dads maybe aren't as technologically au fait as our kids are because they're just used to having a phone or a tablet or whatever with them. But this really startled me. Remarkably, 1 in 7 children actually know how to disable their internet security settings. So if we set it, 1 in 7 of them will be smart enough to go and actually take it off. Quite scary, isn't it?
It's not surprising though, because if they're growing up with them, and I say this in the talks that I do, that the worst thing I've seen is a potty and a baby bouncer. So they saw potty and a baby bouncer, which you're talking about babies with up to 3 months old with an iPad holder or a tablet holder. And I just think,
oh my
we're already
goodness.
disadvantaged them. I understand the social media and technology are an advantage, and they are in the future. However, that young, it's just, for me, you're teaching them, and I get it's easy, give them the tablet, give them the phone, it's easier. Sometimes it just, while you're making food, but then it gets, I'm making food, I'll just sit down for 5 minutes. Then you're talking about something 3/4 of the day when the child is engaging with a screen. And that for me, they are learning how to scroll and do all these things on the phone before they're learning to pick up a knife and fork, before they can pick up a pencil, before they can read a book. So no wonder 1 in 7 can disable safety settings and probably put them back on when they need to. There's no pen, but they're still on.
Crafty little monkeys. And it's probably no surprise as well that social media apps such as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook were the online platforms that prompted the most concerns about safety from parents. In fact, more than a quarter, 27%, claim they would feel more at ease with their child using the internet if they had a better understanding on how to actually keep them safe. And I had a bit of a whistle stop, really. And it's actually amazing and remarkable how many safety settings are actually out there that you can password protect, so then they're going to have to know your password, or you can finger ID or face recognition. There is actually a lot that you can do if you're just mindful and know it is there. Because otherwise, like you said, the kids will just go in, they know where the set it is, and they can whip it off, and away they go. The one that I think is ultimately crafty is the screen time one. They can reset that, and I've only been on my iPad for an hour. Well, you've been in your bedroom for 2 hours. What are you on about? The screen time says an hour. Oh, funny that. Someone was crafty and reset that after an hour. But this does have a big impact on children's mental health, doesn't it, Tammy?
It does. I mean, we've touched on it. We are better as a tribe. We're better with those social interactions, those social connections. Just being around people, as opposed to not engaging. It's just really, really important. It's healthier to have those, that being part of the family, having those, that good physical health, that, getting regular exercise, getting away from being online. And looking after ourselves.
Yeah, most definitely. And talking of exercise, Carl Williams will be joining us next from Synergy Talks, and how we can hopefully improve our children's well-being and hopefully get them off those tablets, get them working out, and hopefully getting them in a better place. He joins us next right here on Pure West Radio. It's Healthy Minds, Better Lives on your Thursday evening, live from our studios here in Haverfordwest.
Listen live at purewestradio.com.